Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Thank you for stopping by. Well, coming again today, you're very welcome. I trust you enjoyed my last video on Christian Stanfield through his song Glorious Day. We looked at the complexity of human experience, but when a human experience comes together, it's a pretty amazing thing. So I trust you found that one encouraging. Well, we're going from there to 1968 in Melbourne, Victoria. Eldest of three, Brendan and Danny being the younger two. This girl went from very humble beginnings on Australian television to become a much loved character, particularly on Neighbours, to an international icon status. This is probably when it comes to Australia's productions of artists, it doesn't get much bigger than this girl. But in the early years, she was frequently moving, and because of that, it was very difficult for her to make friends in school. So that was a bit of a challenging time for her when she was growing up. But her and her sister Danny were involved in singing and dancing lessons. So Kylie Minogue, who obviously we're talking about today, she did start out pretty young, and Australia got to know her early on, like such shows as The Sullivans, Skyways and the Henderson Kids, very popular shows in Australia. And we've got a compilation, we've got a bit of quite a complex acting performance here actually. This is actually stunningly good, of her and the Sullivans talking about life and the complexity of growing up. So that's quite a compelling clip, that one, of a very young Kylie Minogue. But 1986, the world would change. This iconic show, Neighbours. Now, Neighbours is not just very well popular in Australia, but popular all around the world. Everybody knows Neighbours. Everybody's got good neighbours. And of course, the iconic Ramsay Street. Now, Charlene entered that particular show around 1986, and she was a girl that refused to be typecasted into a typical princess role. And so she said, I'm going to be actually an apprentice mechanic. and obviously that wasn't met with very much in the way of compliments from the family, but that's what she ended up doing. And I've got a clip of her having that particular conversation. Again, you can just see how amazing Kylie actually is as an actress. She actually does do the acting quite well. But there would be a budding romance that would actually happen with Jason O'Donovan, who played Scott, and Kylie Minogue, who played Charlene. And in 1987, we had the television wedding of the decade. Almost. In Australia, the wedding of the century, almost. And this particular episode was watched by 20 million people. This is how anticipated this wedding actually was. You've got to go back to the late 1980s. Around 1987 in particular, we had the stock market crash, and things weren't actually going so well worldwide financially. So we needed something, and Neighbours absolutely delivered on that. So we've got to have a TV clip of the wedding scene. And the singing in the background, we've got Angry Anderson. Now, who would have thought that he would be chosen with the voice that he's got to sing such a tender song, but he sings it so well. And so we've got to have the TV clip of Scott and Charlene's wedding. It's around that time that Kylie Minogue was getting acknowledged by the industry, winning 4 Logies that year. In 1987, she thought, well, you know what? There's got to be more to me than just Neighbours. What about the singing thing? Because I did learn singing and dancing. And so, Locomotion, a bit of a remake of the 1950s, but she signed to Mushroom Records, the iconic Mushroom Records in Australia. And that particular single was the best-selling single in Australia of the decade. Obviously, on the Kylie Minogue was on the crest of a wave with the wedding from Neighbours. You know, she was absolutely huge and absolutely popular at this point. So of course, Mushroom Records said, well, you know what, well let's just sign you up. There's not much to think about here, really. And so I Like Emotion was I suppose Kylie's debut to the world as a singer. She looks really, really good on stage. This girl, as we know, she's a good-looking girl, this one, and she just really, the cameras love her. So what happened next? Well, Stockman, Aikman, Waterman. These iconic, I suppose, pop producers in the UK, such people as Rick Astley was another guy that had a lot to do with these guys. Well, she went over to the UK. It was at this point too that she left Neighbours. I mean, once the weddings happened, I mean, what else is there for Charlene to do? You know, they probably need to go off and have a future they should actually have. I should be so lucky, 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 lucky. I should be so lucky in love. This was a massive, massive, massive song for Kylie Minogue and Stock Aikman Waterman. This got to #1 in Australia and the UK. So we got an official and live version of that one below. It was around that time there because the world was actually screaming out for Jason Donovan and Kylie Minogue to come out with a song together. And so they came out with Out Came Especially For You, got to #1 in the UK, sold 1 million copies. Now I'm going to save, because I'm going to do Jason Donovan next time because it makes sense to do him. I'm going to save that particular song for his particular video. So out in 1988 we had the album Kylie. So the albums are starting to come out pretty quickly at this point. 1989, the album Enjoy Yourself. So we had songs such as Like Emotion and I Should Be So Lucky off that first album. And then in 1989, we had Enjoy Yourself. Now, it became really, really apparent at this point that Kylie Minogue needed to grow up. She was the darling of Australian television. She had that image about her. But Kylie realised that she's going to have to do a little bit more than that if she was going to make it onto the international stage. Because to actually have a #1 in the UK is pretty huge. So the album Enjoy Yourself started that process, but then we also had in 1990 the album Rhythm of Love. So I can start. This is actually quite a mature album title, this one. And she was starting to realise, you know what, I do actually look pretty good, so let's actually start to use that a little bit more. We've got a TV clip of Step Back in Time. Rhythm of Love released, produced 4 singles and got to #10 in the UK. Around 1991, so she'd been doing this thing for, 5-6 years. She was starting to get feeling a bit constricted and she needed to leave Stock Wakeman Waterman production because she wanted to launch out because she realised she needed to change even more. And the way that she was going to do that was to make the most of the way she looked. Make no mistake, Kylie Minogue can also sing. I think this is one of the things you've got to realise about her. She can sing, this girl. So, it's not just look at me, aren't I good? Listen to my voice, I can sing as well. And so she decided in 1993, we got the album 1991, let's go to it. In 1993, she left Mushroom and went to Deconstruction Records. What a great studio name, that one. It's almost like, hey, you want a bit of a change, you want something a bit different, you want to shake things up a bit, come with us, we'll deconstruct you and put you back together in a different way. So the album Kylie Minogue, self-titled album, came out that year, got to #4 in the UK, and she started to absolutely sexualise her image. I mean, she can do it, this girl. As again, you've got to be able to have a voice to be able to do this, and she was starting to do that. So the album, then we had Confide in Me, and this was quite a well-known song for Kylie. And again, we can see that the whole sound is really maturing here. It's becoming more adult and more Kylie Minogue, and I think it's absolutely brilliant that she would actually reinvent herself so soon. At #1 in Australia for 4 weeks. Kylie made a surprise appearance on the iconic Vicar of Dibley. I remember the episode. Dibley were having a street fair, and they promised Elton John. Of course, Elton John wasn't. There was another guy named Elton John, and the world had come around. But meantime, Kylie Minogue popped up, thinking Elton was coming. Thought she'd say hello, and next minute she makes an appearance on the Vicar of Dibley and saves the show. Absolutely beautiful clip. And here we're going back to the innocence a little bit of her character on TV. She was also involved in another movie, Street Fighter. It was around that late 1990s, she was starting to get inspired by Japanese culture, and she adopted the geisha heroine character on stage. In 1997, she released the album Impossible Princess. That led to an intimate and live tour, and that tour got extended because of the incredible demand the tour actually had. She would also be involved in a couple of iconic openings in Australia, one being the Melbourne Crown Casino, so it doesn't get much bigger than that. Also Sydney Fox Studios. She would then move to Parlophone in 2000. She wanted to establish herself as a pop artist at this point, and out came the album Light Years. Now there's some 3 big songs off this album. We've got Spinning Around. I'm spinning around. Everybody knows this song. I think she's really talking about what's going on inside her mind. She contemplates love and contemplates relationships and contemplates everything. Who am I, this world? Spinning around. Now, then we move forward to the year 2000 and the best Olympics ever, still regarded. We had the Sydney Olympics in the year 2000. I remember Nikki Webster at the start. Well, Kylie Minogue came out and sang On a Night Like This. Now, Kylie needed a new song for this particular night. This is a magical night, such high stakes to be involved in a closing or opening ceremony. And Kylie Minogue sang while the icons of Australia were being introduced to the world. On a night like this, we're going to be forever. One of the and I absolutely love this song. This is absolutely my favourite song for Kylie Minogue, and this is all about expectation, anticipation, being in the arms of somebody you love, the stars, the moon, all of that. We're just acknowledging the fact that in this busy world that we're in, when we actually do find a night like this one, when the stars are bright, the moon is brighter, there might be waves, there might be a gentle breeze, candlelight, a fireplace even. Not that you have a fireplace in December in Australia because it's summer, but fireplaces, intimacy, knowing that it's going to happen. There's no doubt about this. It's in these sort of moments on a night like this where the world stands still. The world disappears even. And as you're looking to each other's eyes, you're thinking, on a night like this, I want to be like this forever. And if you could snap in your mind that memory, and we do that, don't we? We do actually snap in our mind these memories, and we carry them forward with us. And we think, wow, that was a night. And whatever happens in the future, nothing will take that night away from you. If you look upon it with fondness, if you look upon it with good memories, because we do need good memories in this world. Now, we can't just pretend like memories don't exist. They do, and we need to make them. We need to have nights like this often. Kylie Minogue made the Sydney Olympics memorable with this song. This was just, if you talk about a perfect artist to sing a perfect song in a perfect spot, this was it. Magic happens on nights like this. Beauty happens on nights like this. We're not trying to get to the next thing. Our phones are away. And we find comfort, safety and peace in moments like this. And when there's, I suppose, expectation of the night as well, it's even better. I think with fondness of nights like this that I've had lately, and more than just the intimacy, it's more than that. You know, we say, I'm looking forward to seeing you. Well, looking forward to you. There's more to a person than just what you see. It's what you feel, how you feel around them, all of that. So let's cherish the moments when we realise that we're having a night. Capture it, realise it's happening in front of us, because this is what we want. We want nights like this. So enjoy a live version of Kylie as she sings that one below. We then get together with Robbie Williams and the song Kids. Now, I've got a live version of this one below. Oh my goodness, she is looking absolutely stunning here. Absolutely stunning. We know how iconic Robbie Williams is. Now, to sing with him is pretty cool. He's probably thinking, wow, to be able to sing with Kylie, that's pretty good too. Got a live version of the two of this one, singing this one below. This song is quite heavy on its guitars for both of these artists, but you know, these guys, they absolutely nail it. So we've got Kylie in all her goddess glory here. Absolutely stunning clip, this one. She's singing the harmony too in the chorus here. So she's not singing the tune, to sing in harmony at such a high pressure performance like this one, and to look as good as she does is pretty amazing. Got a live version of that one below. In 2001, the album Fever, as she continued to mature her image, Can't Get You Out of My Head. This song was absolutely massive. This got to number one in 40 countries, sold 5 million copies, and also the album got to number one in Australia, Ireland, and the UK. Sold around 6 million albums. So you know what, pretty big indeed. The critics sort of saw this one as very simple, comfortable, and mature. So one of the amazing things about Kylie Minogue, there has been a bit of criticism about her, but you know what? She has continued to establish herself as the icon she deserves to be, building her musical credibility as she goes. She realises, you know what? I could just pretend people aren't saying anything, but I'll just put a head on, and I'll continue to work on my craft, my voice, my everything, and because of that, she is actually wowed the not just audiences but also the industry. She is a timeless icon, Princess of Pop. She has had her own battles. At the age of 35, she did have breast cancer. She got her way through that, which was pretty good. The world breathed a sigh of relief, I can tell you about that. Between 1988 and 2024, okay, that's 36 years, guys. Kylie Minogue's been around for 36 years. 17 studio albums, 9 EPs, 10 live albums, 13 compilations, and 86 singles. A lot of those albums and singles have done very well indeed, contributing to the 80 million albums that she has sold. 9 of them have gone to number one, and she's had a number one hit over 5 different decades. In fact, we go all the way forward to later, and we got Padam Padam. We've got a live version of this one below. This particular song won her a Grammy Award only recently, so that goes to show that the longevity of this girl. In fact, she's won 231 awards from 316 nominations, a stack of APRA and ARIA awards here in Australia. She's been inducted into the ARIA Hall of Fame. She's also won 4 Brit Awards, and she has won 2 Grammy Awards. And so this girl absolutely just not acknowledged by fans, also acknowledged by the industry for her, I suppose, incredible legacy that she's left the recording industry and also television as well, and movies. This girl is an all-rounder, absolutely, and we are so proud of her in Australia. It's amazing to think that going all the way back to Neighbours, she was able to nail the international scene so well. So the links to those 14 clips are in the description below, and I've also included my last video on Christian Stanfield. If you want to recap on him, feel free. Well, I thought I was going to be going on to Elle next time, but I realised I had not done Jason Donovan, so we better do him next time. So until then, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.